I've been throw up the sex in and I can put you in. I can put you in. I've been throw up the sex in
My name is Diamond Davis. I'm also known as Yourcoilyness, and I'm an engineer turned content creator. What made me get into engineering was my interest in math and science when I was in high school, and I figured a great way to put that to use would be to study engineering. I studied mechanical engineering and biomedical engineering, and so mechanical engineering is pretty much studying the way that movement, outside forces pretty much affect the way that things need to be built and designed and constructed. Just taking those things into consideration before you just go ahead and design something. My experience being an engineer was really interesting. I was in a male-dominated space, usually one of only a few women that were in my classes and at my job. And so there was a lot of pressure to conform to the more manly or masculine culture and the ways that they behaved or the ways that they maneuvered about in classes and in the workplace. And so it was hard sometimes to try to find that balance to still be who I am, but also to make sure that I was still getting the respect of my counterparts in the workplace and at school. I would say the problem in the engineering industry is just the traditional beliefs and what they're used to seeing and the type of workers that the type of people that normally go into the industry. We look back over the last 100 years of engineers, they were mostly white men. And so women stepping into that space is relatively not a little new, you know, for the amount of engineers that are now women. And I remember there were times when I was in elementary school and stuff, and it was like, oh, boys do math and science. Girls like home ec and art class. They don't do math. They don't do science. That's not for girls. That's for boys. And so it's good to see that the narrative is now being shifted that no, also girls can like math and science, and that's okay. That doesn't make them weird or a nerd or anything like that. That's just who they are. So I am a person of many interests, and I always like to switch it up and keep it fresh. And I wasn't feeling completely fulfilled in engineering, so I decided that I wanted to switch into something else that I was really interested and passionate about, which was content creation. The reactions I got when I decided to quit my job, a lot of my friends thought it was cool. My family didn't understand as much, you know. I come from a very traditional and safe family, you know, like we do what's safe, we stick to what we know, and that's kind of where we operate out of. And through time, they just needed to see. That's what I feel like people need to see. If you're convicted in it yourself, you're gonna be good, but people around you just need to see it. My experience and journey since leaving my engineering job and becoming full-time content creator has been really interesting. I took a huge leap. I was really scared to leave my engineering job, but I feel like every step of the way, good things and things that are meant for me have continued to come into my life. So my experience being a social media content creator, I would say that one of the biggest things when I was first starting out was comparing myself to other people. I would definitely be looking at other people around me like, okay, am I getting enough followers? Like, I'm not growing as fast as them. Like, wow, they're putting out content 5 times a day. Like, am I not putting out enough content? Oh my God, and I feel like that really limited me when I was always looking at what other people were doing, you know, and trying to catch up instead of just being in my own lane, doing my own thing. And so like when I stopped comparing myself and trying to look and see what other people were doing, I was able to really like hone in and focus on what I really wanted to say, and not like, oh, maybe I need to say this or say that because other people are saying that. No, like that's not my journey, that's not my message, that's not who I am, and really focusing on what I'm supposed to be saying, what I'm supposed to be sharing with my audience, because they came for me, not for pieces of other people. They just came for me. But my experience being a content creator as a Black woman has been really interesting. This, instead of being a white male dominated space, is now a white woman dominated space. And so I feel like just with pretty much everything that as a Black woman, you have to work twice as hard to be half as good. And so I definitely feel that I had to make sure that my content was better than everybody else, the quality was better, and make sure that I really knew what I was saying and why I was saying it so that people would connect with me, because I knew just standing there and doing a little twist wasn't gonna cut it for me. So that was really, so in a way, I guess it's actually a good thing, because it makes you have to really get honest and dig deep on what it is you're really trying to share with other people, instead of just trying to show up just because you want to, just show off. Some advice I would say to young women that want to make the switch is that everything you do has a purpose. Every experience that you have, every job that you have, every skill that you have, there's a purpose, and there's a way that you might need to use it at some point in your life, in your career. So always be grateful and mindful, and give your all to whatever it is that you're focusing on at the time, even if it's not what you want to be doing yet, because there's tons of skills that I've learned from engineering, from my job, that I now use and make me the great content creator that I am now and businesswoman that I am now. So just don't be afraid for those other experiences and to really relish in them, because there's so much you can learn that's going to help you become who you're really meant to be.